Okay, so I said I would do a video on this. This is, I had a 3-pound thing of ground beef, and I made taco meat out of all of it, and then I divided it up into 3 meals. We had taco soup, tacos yesterday, and then this is Mexican lasagna. I did add a little bit of rice to this pan, even though my recipe does not call for it, because I had rice I needed to use up, and this seemed like a really good way to kind of put it in here and make a little bit more than to go in the casserole. Okay, so there's the meat, the rice, and like 1.5 small onions, and I'm just heating that up. Turn that off, and then I will show you what I do next. Okay, so I tried this putting it on my coffee stand, but I don't have a tripod and it's not working. Anyway, so once this is done, you're gonna add 1 can of salsa, and if you want, you also will add 1 can of corn. However, I haven't really found any corn that is GMO free, and I'm kind of watching the corn and potatoes in my diet right now. So anyway, that's step 2. Okay, so I don't have the capacity to kind of pour and stir, so I have to do this in increments, but the salsa is all poured in here. I poured the whole jar, and then I just stirred it around, kind of really mixed it up. This is my Pyrex pan. It is a number 13. I greased it this time. I don't think you have to every single time. I looked at the recipe and it doesn't make any reference to that. Actually, speaking of this, let me turn my oven on to 350. Yes, my stove is in need of a cleaning. But anyway, I did spray it because this is a brand new pan. I cleaned it and I kind of wanted it a little bit sprayed just because it's never been baked in before, and I don't know if that's going to change anything or not. Who knows? But anyway, you're going to take about 1/3 of your meat and layer it. And I'm just kind of going to guess here. Now, you can do more meat than what I did with the, I think it's a little over a pound. But to be honest, I think we place so much emphasis on meat in our society, so I'm just trying to kind of get the meat to stretch a little further, and you know, we can do this. So anyway, you're gonna place a layer of meat in here. That one can be chopped up. I'm kind of like looking over the camera as I do this, so anyway, in my shadows because it's night. This is great. So hopefully you guys can just get an idea of what I'm doing here. So there's like my 1/3 of meat. I have corn tortillas. It says to use about 10. I find that I like to use a little bit more depending on the size. I just kind of split this one in half. Kind of just doing this. So then I'm not going to be able to do the next layer holding the camera, but then you're going to take cottage cheese. You only need a 16 ounce. This is a 32 ounce because it was cheapest to do it this way. 16 ounce is what, 2 cups? So you're going to take about 1 cup and just thinly spread it around, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, so this is obviously not 1 cup, but I'm trying really hard to be limited on our dairy. And so I just did a thin layer across the top, and I have tried to omit the cottage cheese part, but you really do need it to, because it really helps moisten. Just a second, kitty. It helps moisten the corn tortillas, which really helps this casserole. So after this, you're going to layer another 1/3 of this on top of that, and then put your corn tortillas on top, and then the cottage cheese again. So I'm going to do exactly my 3 steps repeated again, and I'll show you after that. Okay, so I did the last layer and now I just added the last of my meat. And I'm just gonna spread it on. Like that. Most of the time I make this with ground turkey, not ground beef. But it was actually cheaper to buy the ground beef than it was the ground turkey. They had the 80% meat or lean meat and then 20% fat on sale for $3 a pound. And I just got that this time. Okay, so there's your last layer, and I'm going to sprinkle it with cheese and olives across the top, and I will show you before I pop it in the oven. Okay, that is my Mexican lasagna. If you guys have no aversions to dairy, or you know, eat it just fine, by all means load up this with cheese. I'm just really trying to be careful with our dairy intake. Anyway, and then also I just used whatever shredded cheese I had left over from tacos the other night, which is probably 1 cup total. If even that. I'm not even sure it was that. And then I just sliced my own olives. It's cheapest that way. I am going to cover this with tin foil, bake it at 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes to kind of just get everything to go heated thoroughly and get that cheese to melt in it. And I will serve this with some broccoli and maybe a little light salad. Anyway, I'll see you in my next video.